So a lot of blue light glasses out there, they're just like a coating over the top of the lens, and that's their blue light blocking coating. And the issue is that it can easily scratch off or wear off over time. Filtering can be inconsistent there. And so ours is different because we actually, and this is where, so we work with a optical lab on this, where we actually pigment the lens, like the whole lens. So the filtering's throughout the whole part of the lens, not just the coating on the top. So it goes from the top to, I understand they're very thin, but it's throughout the whole lens. It's not just a coating on top. And so that's where our big point of difference for us is. And then getting more into the science of it, blue light glasses, just some random $5 ones, are they actually blocking the right wavelengths that need to be blocked?
Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, epigenetic human performance coach. This is where we discuss all things lifestyle, environment, food, exercise, work, mind, and social interaction as they pertain to epigenetic expression in a way that's relatable to everyone. So if you're ready to start viewing you as an individual, take control of your life and health, and get results, buckle up, here we go. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. I'm your host, Susan Robbins, and this is a place where we talk about everything, lifestyle and environment, and how it relates to our genetic expression. And if you are watching this video, I have a major light behind me that I can't get rid of. My blinds are down, but I get the afternoon sun, and it's 4 o'clock here right now. The afternoon sun comes in here so hard. I've curtains shut, and so I look angelic. And you probably can't see, I have my wrinkles, so it's doing me a favor. It's freaking me out. It's happened a couple times. I'm going, it doesn't even look like me. So anyway, if you think I've had something done to my face, I have not. It is the lighting behind me. I have had nothing. So here we go. Today, we are going to be talking about blue light. Everybody's heard about blue light, but really, what is it? Now, I did a podcast when Kate was co-hosting with me. We were doing these little minis for 11 minutes. And believe me, she made sure it was 11 minutes, 11, 12 minutes, not over. And she had said, why don't you do one on blue light blocking glasses? So I did the research on it, but I felt very rushed with it, that I didn't feel like I really got out good information, because it's not somewhere where I am an expert, but it does affect us genetically. It affects us our circadian rhythm, and we're hit with blue light all day long with computers and TVs and phones and doom scrolling until you put your phone down to go to sleep, if you do. So no. So I thought how this podcast came about, if you're looking at me, I'm wearing blue light blocking readers, but they are clear. And I know that it blocks a minimal amount of light. And I was searching for red ones that are also readers. I could not find any except for one. And the company is called Block Blue Light. Am I right, Sam?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
I got that right. Okay, because I have it down in two places. I have blue block light, and then I have block blue light. So
it can be a bit of a mouthful. Yeah, it can be a bit tricky, but you did get it right. You did get it right. Perfect.
So block blue light. That was a tongue twister. And so I had them custom made, and I love them. So I'm going to talk about them, but I reached out to the owner, and I got an email from him saying thank you for purchasing. And so I emailed him back and I said, would you come on and talk about blue light, its hazards to humanity, and these glasses and these different types of them, because there's the clear, the amber, and the red. And lo and behold, my guest replied, and he said that the other person was very busy, but he has been with the company since the start, or pretty close to the start. And his name is Sam Nahna, and he is a senior customer experience and product expert. And he said, I would be happy to come on in his place and discuss about blue light. And so we met last week and we said, let's do this. He's got great energy. He's way across the pond in New Zealand. So another fun accent coming your way, which will just make it sounds even better. And everything sounds better with a cool accent, right? And he's got his blue light blockers on. So if you're watching this, you've got my crazy lighting background that makes me look like this crazy aura, and I've had work done in my face. And Sam's got the glare. So we are just a pair here, and we're going to have a good time. But we're going to get you some great information. So Sam has been with the company almost from the very beginning. He's got a very deep knowledge of all that they offer, because we'll get to the products, but he said he also speaks on the blue light. And again, we're going to give great information here so you understand why I go crazy trying to find these products, because I'm online all day, same as the majority of the people, unless you do a different type of work, outdoors or something where you're just not in front of a screen all day. And so basically, he said if it involves understanding how and why these products work, this is your man. This is, quote, it's his world. This is Sam, and it's Sam's world, right? In the blue light arena. So welcome to the show officially, Sam Nahna.
Thank you, Susan. It's awesome to be on here, and honestly, thanks for the opportunity to be on here. I mean, you reached out, I was like, yeah, no, awesome. We love reaching out and being involved with things like this. So, yeah, unfortunately, Dan is quite busy. He's actually over in the US at the moment. We've got some exciting things coming with expansion and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, unfortunately, he's quite tied up, but he's more than happy for me to come on and spread the word about blue light and blue light glasses and what we can offer. So, yeah, no, glad to be on.
Love it. And you all, my glasses came from the UK. So they are, when you get the reader part put in there, right? Not just a plain non-magnified. I'm old. I need the magnification. I can't see shit without them. Right? And I find that having been on computers for so long now doing this job, that I need them even now just looking at pretty much anything. They're just like, I can't live without them. But they're specially made.
Correct.
Per the right special order. And so mine came from the UK, and you guys are based out of New Zealand though, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So it all started here in little old New Zealand. When I first joined the company, I was actually working out of Dan's house. Yeah. It started out of his garage, and it's grown into something massive. So that's been super cool to see the growth of that.
Love it.
But yeah, no, it's been a ride for sure. It's been a ride for sure.
So let's start off and inform my audience, because not everybody listened to those little minis, even though I thought, oh, more people will listen because they're nice and short. Again, a lot of times I felt really rushed. So let's give them a good talk on, first of all, what is blue light?
No, absolutely. You can get into it, because when I first started with the company as well, I had not as much knowledge as I do now. So yeah, it's been super cool to learn and understand and grow with it. So when you're talking about blue light, people instantly just think, oh, anything that's the color blue, right? While that's partially correct, we're actually talking about the high energy, because light travels in wavelengths, right? So it comes in short wavelengths, long wavelengths. It's a whole spectrum, right? So blue light actually falls in the short end, like a very high energy light, very short wavelengths, that emits from us. It's all invisible, obviously, but we see the brightness and obviously the colors in behind that. So it's not just the color blue that you're seeing, right? So it's in what's called in the visible light spectrum between 400 to 500 nanometers. And it's a high energy, short wavelength like this. And it's actually naturally produced by the sun, believe it or not. And it's good for our bodies. Yeah, it's because it's in the whole color spectrum. It's naturally produced by the sun, and that's actually what gives us our natural energy, and that our vitamin D and all that kind of stuff. So it helps us through the day, and it's actually really beneficial for us to get outside and be exposed to natural blue light during the day. Where the issue is in the evening once the sun is set, and we're still exposed to this high energy light from, like how you said, screens, TVs, phones, laptops. And the worst is even the lighting, overhead lighting, right? Because a lot of people are just using standard LEDs, which emit high levels of blue light. So without actually knowing that, in the evening, we're putting ourselves at detriment by just walking around in this high energy sort of light. And again, so that has a flow-on effect to your sleep and your overall health and all that kind of stuff, which we'll obviously get into a bit more. But just on the plain end, the blue light is just that real kind of bright white light that you get from screens and all that kind of stuff. It's not just the color blue that you're looking at.
So why now we know again it's going to throw off the rhythms, and I've totally experienced this, especially in the different seasons. And I was talking to you about this before we started, that I had the red ones on because we'll get more into detail about it. But I had those on at 7 p.m. last night, and it's dark. It doesn't get dark here till 8:30, but I don't get tired when it's light out.
Yeah.
And I need to start coming down by 8 o'clock. And when it's bright and sunny, it's I really want to go take a walk. I want to get outside and
Yeah.
play. So
Yeah.
the mind starts fighting with the body. And for someone who's not the night owl, but who's genetically a morning person and needs to
Hmm.
be coming down in the evening, it's really disruptive.
Yeah.
And even my night owls, they're my doom scrollers till 1 or 2 in the morning, right? Even though they need to start coming down before that as well. So we know that it can really throw off the rhythms. But I told you in the once the fall starts and into the winter, and it's dark here by 5 o'clock, at 4:30 I see the sun going down, and automatically my body's going, you stay awake. So the big joke around some of us that are a couple friends of mine that are also activators and morning people, we go, yeah, in the winter, like if it's after 5 o'clock, I'm not going back out. It's jammy, it's jammies on.
What are you, ridiculous? Yeah.
It's cold out, but it's dark. And once it gets dark, it's like my body wants to go to sleep. So then it starts getting lighter, and it's this transition, and then you're thrown off, and we have the time change on top of that. And it can really just create a nightmare. And then what are we doing? Again, then we're going, like you said, to the bright lights.
Mm.
And so when do we stop this constant stimulation? Where before maybe it was just the lights back in the 1800s, before before the light bulb, or 1700s, whatever. Think about how good they had it with candlelight. Why do we not do that at
Perfect.
night, right?
Yeah. 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 No, totally, totally. And that's again like we and that's where like our lighting is really like a really good range as well. Again, we can get into that further, but that's where we've got our blue light free lighting ranges like for like overhead lighting and like our portable lighting products and stuff like that. So it's really about trying to create that like blue light free environment in the evening.
I have the red light bulb in my nightstand light, and that's when I'll take my glasses off when I turn that on, so that I'm
Yeah.
not like, whoa. Because if
Yeah,
you,
yeah. 'Cause that's the last thing you
it's
want, right? It's just
no,
a
it's
bright light
shocking.
at night. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So so we know how it affects us. Why do you think it's harmful? Are there any health issues that we see
So
from this?
yeah, so basically like what Hal was getting into sort of before, like the blue light basically it impacts like the brain's ability to produce melatonin, right? Which we know is like the sleep hormone which helps us fall asleep, right? So when you're basically not when you're what's the word I'm looking for when you're starving yourself of that melatonin, right, and you're not getting to sleep and you're just staying up awake all night getting bad sleep, that does have flow-on effects, right? So yeah, to your mental well-being, your productivity the next day. You wake up feeling like, oh, I had the worst sleep last night, and you're trying to figure out why. You're like, I was up so late, like why was I not able to fall asleep? It's because your brain's just it's stimulated from the light,
Constant.
from that whole evening of being in blue light, staring at your phone, or any activity like that. And it's in this day and age, it's tricky, right? Because with technology building and growing, and the world just becoming more like what I like to say 24/7, in terms of people and now getting into a habit of there's not just the daily routine 9 to 5, right? People might be doing stuff during the day and then they're actually working in the evening. And I've even heard of people splitting it up. They'll split up their day in 4 hour periods or 6 hour periods and sleep in between that. There's all sorts of crazy stuff going
I
on.
don't know how they do
So
it.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
split shift. Split shift. They call that split shifts. You have the shift work overnight, and I did a podcast on that, on how that wrecks us, how we can mitigate with some lifestyle things. But yeah, that split shift is crazy,
yeah.
where it is a 4 hour block, and then a whole area in the middle, and then another 4 hour block. I'd love to see those people's labs.
Oh, I know, but I think people really underrate how important sleep is just for basically how we operate in general, right? So, yeah, whilst you might have a bad sleep, and I'm not saying you're going to have a bad sleep and then wake up the next day, and because it has flow-on effects, right? And if you keep on doing this, keep on having bad sleeps, and that's when it's going to get real bad for you, because it can be linked to things like mental health things like depression, even obesity in some cases from people.
Oh,
And I'm not
insulin
quoting that,
resistance.
but people's lifestyles just start to deteriorate, right? And so that leads to bad
Absolutely.
habits and things like that. So it's all
Yeah.
about getting back to the basics of getting yourself a good night's sleep and giving yourself the energy to do what you need to do the next day.
So if you go on Amazon, there's tons of these blue light blockers. Some of them are so cheap, and I've gotten them, and I'm like, this doesn't do anything. Right? I've
Yeah.
worn enough of them. I have stockpiled enough of them to see the difference. So let's talk about the science behind let's start with the eyewear first, because again, that's the most common. And then like I thought you guys were just glasses. That's what I went for. So I didn't do any more searching, because I was like, I got my glasses ordered, I'm happy. And I do want to give you guys props, because your customer service is fantastic. You get an email from Dan, and then mine, I guess the supply, they had a supply issue, so it was going to be delayed a little bit since they're custom made. And so you guys emailed me and said, we'll give you a little light. And do you want clear, or do you want the amber? And I thought, give me the amber. It's like you just touch this, click this thing on and off. And so both of these came, and I said, I didn't know those are that. I had no idea that you could get a blue light blocker reader, little reading lamp. So let's talk about the science behind these things, because I know that they're all different, like the different colors and why, and who would benefit from what. And then we'll start with glasses, and then we'll go into the other things, because I've never knew that about these other things you were talking about either. So.
No, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. We can definitely get into that. So basically, like how you said, there's so many different options out there, right? Like when you're looking for blue light glasses, there's just so many different. We get it all the time. I can get these for $5 on Amazon or on Temu or wherever you're getting them from, and I totally understand that where people are coming from, because in this day and age, it's hard for everyone. I completely understand that. And where we're coming from is that basically we've actually, because this is all how it started for Dan. He actually started this business because he was having issues with sleep, and he was looking around at anything, nothing was working, from going to doctors, trying naturopaths, all that kind of stuff. And so he said, I actually want to get deep down into the science of why, because there was a little bit of research there, but it wasn't very prominent. It was just like the underlying there. And blue light glasses was more about the fashion and the colored lenses and making you look cool. It wasn't actually about the science. And so Dan thought, why don't we just start? Why don't I develop these glasses that are actually science backed? Like,
That actually
yeah.
work.
We'll get into that. And so a lot of blue light glasses out there, they're just like a coating over the top of the lens, and that's their blue light blocking coating. And the issue is that it can easily scratch off or wear off over time. Filtering can be inconsistent there. And so ours is different, because we actually, and this is where, so we work with a optical lab on this, where we actually pigment the lens, like the whole lens. So the filtering's throughout the whole part of the lens, not just the coating on the top. So it goes from the top to, I understand they're very thin, but it's throughout the whole lens. It's not just a coating on top. And so that's where our big point of difference for us is. And then getting more into the science of it, blue light glasses, just some random $5 ones, are they actually blocking the right wavelengths that need to be blocked? So how we were saying before, blue light goes from between 400 to 500, I believe. Blue light glasses should at least, at minimum, be like filtering at the 455 nanometer range, because that's the peak of the blue light. And if they're not doing anything at that nanometer range, if you look at their specs and they don't have any specs about saying what they're filtering, then chances are that they're not actually doing anything. So the bare minimum is you want some filtering at 455 nanometers, which is like the peak wavelength from screens and lights and all that kind of stuff. So that's the bare minimum that you want to be doing. And so I'll talk through our different lens options, because we've actually got 4 different lens options that you can get. We've got 2 options for during the day and 2 for in the evening. And so basically how it works is we've got a clear lens, which I've got on right now, and so this is basically the bare minimum ones for during the day. So it blocks 50% of blue light across the whole blue light spectrum, and that covers that peak range at 455. There is a very slight tint in these, but not very noticeable at all. It's not changing any colors or anything like that, like our other lenses. So they're a really good choice for people that have to be on a screen all day, working on laptops, like all that kind of stuff. So that's
yeah, and it
that's those ones
really
there. You
helps
got
with
those, perfect. And
eye fatigue, right? Really helps with
yeah,
the eye fatigue.
yeah, dry eyes, all that
Feel
kind of stuff. Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah,
So especially, I do have dry eye, and I have to I use my drops every day. So especially if you have dry eyes and you are on a screen all day,
mm.
you absolutely should invest. You don't.
And
I mean,
some people can't avoid it, right? You need to be on the screen for your job. It's all well and good to say, "Oh, stop being on the screen so much," but some people they have to be on
choice.
it.
If I want to work with my people, if I want to podcast, if I have to be on a screen. And
Yeah.
I started my podcast this morning that we recorded, and I didn't have them on. And I'll tell you, just even in the morning, I could feel my eyes burning, and then I threw them on, and it felt better.
It's just
But I definitely
like a nice
noticed a
relief, right?
difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when I did that other that podcast, the mini, most of the clear blue light glasses are, and these are probably the cheaper ones that you're going to find on Amazon for $5, right? From coming from Timu. I bought the Timu glasses. They only block, it's about 20 to 20% maybe to
Yeah.
40. It's minimal, but it's more for, like you said, for the eye fatigue
Yeah.
protection that way during the
Yeah.
day.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. And the other good thing about us as well is we actually do offer, like you said, your glasses are readers. So we do offer that option to have your glasses customized if you need readers or prescriptions, all that kind of stuff. So that's another good benefit that we offer as well. And then moving on to the next lenses. So I've actually got, I do have a pair. So it's called our Daymax Yellow, and it's basically more for our real people that are really sensitive to light. So I don't know if you can see, you can
Oh
kind of
yeah, that's a
see,
yellow tint.
you
Yep,
can see, oh, sorry, you can
sure
see the
can.
yellow tints in there. So yeah, you can kind of, oh, I don't know why I did that, but
Yep.
yeah, so these are for more our real light sensitive wearers. And so these block, or not block, sorry, they filter 20% across the blue light spectrum. So,
Wow.
and with these, you'll notice they do have a yellow lens, so there is that changing color perception there. Initially, it is a bit like, whoa, but it's quite funny because your eyes do naturally adjust. And I'm not saying that the yellow then turns to white, but you get a grasp of the colors and what you're seeing. So it's not actually as bad to work with. And sometimes even when I've come in, I'm not feeling that great at work, already coming in with a headache, and I'm like, oh, I've got to be on the screen all day. I have actually used those in those situations, and yeah, work like a charm. So that's been great. And an actually really good fact for these yellow ones is while they filter 70% across the whole blue light spectrum, they actually block 100% of that peak wavelength we were talking about before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a really good benefit for those ones for during the day, because then you're not being exposed to those high levels of blue light. It's actually doing a really good job of filtering the whole blue light, but especially that peak. And then we move
Now I
on to
need
the
another
evening
pair.
ones.
Thanks, Sam.
What's
Now,
that?
now I need to order another pair of those now. Thank you.
But now we move on to where it's like the crux of it is, right? Where it's actually really key to make sure you're blocking that blue light, and that's in the evening where you want to be blocking 100% of blue light. And so I've got a pair of our red lens glasses here. Let's get these out. There's these bad boys here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a pair of our Nightfall red.
These are the ones I just got.
Yeah,
Sweet.
perfect. Yeah. So this lens here, so we've got two. The Nightfall, I should have talked about the other one, but we'll do this one first. This pair here that we've both just shown, the Nightfall red, that's actually our best evening pair you can get. It blocks 100% of blue light and actually 100% of green light up to, because green lights, I should have touched on this earlier, green light sits next to blue light in the light spectrum. And so the green light starts from 500 and then obviously goes up to, I think, 600 or 650. And there is some research to suggest that, I guess it's for real sensitive people, but there is some research talking about real early green light, so between 500 to 550 nanometers, can have effect on sleep as well. So we actually developed this red lens to block 100% of blue light and green light up to that 550. So it basically covers any light wavelength that's going to have an effect on disrupting that melatonin production. So this is the best sort of evening glasses you can get. But, and you'll attest to this, they do make everything red, right? It cuts out all color, your color,
freaky.
what's it called, your color perception of things. I wouldn't want to watch a movie on them with them or anything like that.
I do, but it took me a while. The first pair I got at a conference a couple years ago, they broke. But I did this. That's where I started to at least notice that, wow, red light. I put them on and I sit down and I start getting tired. And I don't mean fatigue, but it's like you just feel yourself coming down a
You
bit.
feel your brain releasing that melatonin, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. I forget where I was going with that.
No, that's all good. That's all good. But so yeah, these red lenses are just really they're just the best. That oh yeah, sorry,
Yeah,
you
it was
remember?
the color perception.
Yes.
When I started, I was watching something and I'm going, this is creepy because it is distorting everything. I was trying to do my crossword puzzle. I couldn't see anything. I went to look to cook, and yeah, that wasn't going to work well. So I actually threw them in a drawer for about a year and then brought them out last year, and then they broke.
Oh yeah.
So, but it now, like when I was using these the other day, or last night actually, and I was doing my crossword, it's completely, I've adapted, and these don't seem to be as, because I have ambers too, these don't seem to be as distorting as others that I've tried.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know why. I was able to actually see, but it's still, I'll
And
look outside and go,
that could
man,
easily
it's
just
dark
come.
out. Then I go, whoa,
Yeah.
it's still light.
Yeah. And that could easily just come down to, and I don't like, I'm not talking bad about other companies, but those other glasses or cheaper glasses might have just been some regular, just red, like real dark red coating or something like that. Not actually, we've looked into this and this is the color that they need to be thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
that could easily explain that. But so there's that lens, and then we have our amber lens, which is kind of like an ideal, what I would suggest to people to go with if they're just dipping their toes into they're just wanting to see what it's going to be like, or like where should I begin. An amber lens, I think, is a really good option because it blocks 100% of the blue light. Of course, it doesn't have that extra green light blocking. So if you were real light sensitive, I would say go for the red lens. But the amber one's kind of a good one because it gives you, it's not as dark as our reds. So it lets you do things like you can do your cooking or your puzzles or whatever
Yeah.
you're doing in the evening. It lets you do that, and you can still watch TV and do stuff. Okay, the color perception isn't
It's
the
not as
best,
good.
but it's better than the red one. So yeah, that's all the four options there. So yeah, yes,
A
yes.
quick question. The amber, will that also stimulate the melatonin production like the red?
Yes, correct. Yeah, yeah. So the amber blocks 100% of blue light. Yeah, so there's nothing coming through, which again will then your brain will start being like, oh, okay, there's no stimulation there. I can start releasing this melatonin. So yeah, the amber and the red ones, yeah, block 100% of blue light. So they both do what you need them to do in the evening, exactly what you need them to do.
Okay. And I want to show what I think is so cool about the frame that I got. I'm like, what does this remind me of? My onion goggles. I have these things called onion goggles because I cut into an onion, it out come the
It's
tears,
just
and it then it burn, my eyes will feel horrible for the rest of the day,
yeah,
or evening. And these are like the onion goggles, right? So these plain blue light readers here, you can see, are just a normal glasses. So I have light penetrating from all sides. With these, it's got this really comfortable padding, and I'm not here as a marketing person. I'm just telling you my experience here. And what I
this is
love
not an
about them, and
ad.
I have a very small head. That's the only thing is, now they're on, but I have a very tiny head, but yet they don't look huge on me.
Mm,
And I think it was recommended for the small face.
yeah, yeah,
That was one of the reasons it was recommended. But if you look, it's extended over here, almost like a little partial goggle, like these sunglasses I have that block things so that the sun or the wind or whatever it doesn't get in. And then it wraps around here. So what I found is, as I wear these at night, I still have to have a light on, right? But it's not
it's not.
getting
Yeah, it's not
around.
encroaching in around the eyes. Yeah, yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
it's just so much more protective, and I'm noticing the difference. I put them on, and I'm super chill, and had a great sleep score. I was nice and tired last night, and I wanted to ask you, what time would you recommend? I put these on while it was still light out at 7 o'clock to try to trick my body into getting tired, because when I'm not wearing them and it's light at 8 o'clock, 8:30, my
It
body,
takes you a
when it
long
should
time to.
naturally,
Yeah,
it does, and
yeah.
it jacks my sleep. But last night was fantastic, so I know that played one of the pieces
Yeah.
in getting to sleep, because that's where I
Yeah.
was noticing it
Awesome.
was getting to sleep. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
these
I
are
mean,
super cool.
yeah, but it's everyone's different, right? So we all know everyone's different. Not one thing's going to work for everyone. What we recommend is, yeah, like once the sun has started to set or has set, that's when we would say you can break out the evening glasses, chuck them on, because not most of the time once the sun is set, that's when your overhead lighting and all your lighting's starting to come on, right? So that's the sort of the guideline there. But like you say, for people like yourself, there's nothing wrong with chucking them on a bit earlier while the sun's still out. It all just what's going to work best for you and your schedule and your lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yep.
yeah.
Hear that, activators, crusaders? Get these things on. It will help you come down in the evening. Okay, so keep going. Are you still on the eyewear? Did you have
Oh yeah,
more on
sorry. No,
eyewear?
so that's before that sort of wrapped up all. So we've got four lenses: the clear, the yellow for the daytime, amber, and the red in the evening. If you want to go super hard out, some people will get like the amber and red for the evening. So what they do is they'll use the amber for once the sun has set initially, and then 1 to 2 hours before they are like going to go to sleep, they'll swap over and put the red on just to really solidify that melatonin release. We totally understand again that you're not money doesn't grow on trees. Totally understand that. And people are always like, if I was just going to buy one pair, what pair would you recommend? The yellow pairs, if they want to use them during the day, then I would say the yellow pair, because you can use them during the day and they go a bare minimum for the evening, because they filter 70%, but they block that real harsh 455 like we talked about. So it's wearing them in the evening it's not the best you can wear, but it'll still help. If you're purely only wanting glasses for the evening, I would recommend either the amber or the red, because you want to block that 100%. And if you're only going to be using them in the evening, then you might as well be using the amber and the red. We don't recommend using the amber and the red during the day. If I was an office worker, I wouldn't be putting the amber ones on, because that'll make you feel, like you say, like it starts to make you feel tired and drowsy. You don't want to be falling asleep at your desk.
That's why I took them off.
Yeah. Another question we get: night driving, because a lot of cars these days with their headlights they're getting their LEDs now, so they're quite bright on the road.
I never would have thought of that.
And because people are, oh, well, what about driving at night? Again, we don't want you falling asleep at the wheel or getting tired while driving. So we don't recommend the amber or the red, but the yellow is a really good option if you're having to do a lot of night driving, because it's taking off that real harshness from the headlights of the other cars. So that's a really good option for you there. But yeah, that's essentially the glasses in a nutshell. Options for any time of the day.
Love it. That's exactly the information that I wanted. And again, you can get, if you need readers, you can get them custom to the magnification that you need. And I don't know, it's not on here. I think mine are 1.25 that it can
Yeah,
use.
I think we do quite a vast range of the magnification.
Yeah,
so,
it was all in there. So whatever you need is easily able to be worked with. So now talk about some of the other things around blue light blocking, because you started so we have this, if you like to. I know a lot of my people, like crusaders, sensors, diplos, love to read. Talk about this little apparatus.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like we said, we don't just have glasses, because obviously how we were saying, it's all about what can we do to mitigate blue light in the evening. And we were like, oh, lighting. If people are using just standard LED lighting, can we develop a light that's blue light free and all that? And we're obviously not the only company to do that. There's blue light free lighting out there, but it's a really good way that you can set up your environment that you're the only blue light you're being exposed to is either that on your phone or your laptop or your TVs and stuff like that. But even then, like for your phone, there's screen filters you can get, or even things on your device that you can get. But anyway, back to the lighting. So yeah, we have a range of lighting that's basically 100% blue light free. That red bulb you were talking about that you have before, that's blue light free and green light free. So that's a really good one in the evening to have, to put on maybe an hour or so before bed. You're just chilling and you're trying to wind down. The red is a really good one. We do get a lot of people and a lot of comments about how this perceives your household from the outside. All these red lights, but
I'm in a condo. Every time I go in my bedroom at night and I turn on the red light and I'm pulling down the blinds, I just wonder what the people across the way are thinking. Is she having a romantic night? This is creepy because there's no dudes walking into her condo.
But
I just want to go.
it's so funny though, because it's such a soothing and relaxing light. Honestly, it's really nice for the evening. But Yeah, so but then we have our amber as well, which is nice. How you have in that book light just there. It's a real nice amber glow, 100% blue light free, and yeah, provides
It's
enough light to
bright.
be doing things like puzzles, crosswords, even
Yeah.
like cooking and things like that. So maybe not that little book light, but we have bulbs and bigger lamps and stuff like that. So there's heaps of options. I've actually got some products here as well, which I'd like to show if that's okay.
Yeah, do it, do
Um,
it.
your booklight, hey, you've got one there. It's not a plug-in. It's rechargeable, so it's portable. You can take it anywhere. You can clip it onto
Yeah.
things,
I was
which is
shocked that it was rechargeable when it came with the little cord and it
yeah,
charges quickly. And also that it's like, it's not this cheap little thing that's going to break. This thing is hard. It's
yeah,
sturdy and it
yeah.
holds.
And
Um,
it's the booklights are actually really popular with mums and that because they clip them onto the side of like cots and cribs and stuff like that. So they have to do nighttime feeds
ah,
and things like that. So that's where
love it.
lighting for mums out there is really actually quite popular because there's nothing worse than you've got to wake up and late at night and you either to go to the bathroom or feeding a baby or anything like that and to turn on a harsh white light is just oof, no one wants that. So how nice is it to be able to turn on a nice amber light lamp or a little red lamp just to doesn't disturb, doesn't wake anyone,
Nope.
just keeps things nice and calm and peaceful. So yeah, I'll jump into what I've got. So this one here is a little beacon light. So that's how big it is in my hand. Just a nice little
Tiny.
portable light, and it's simply you just simply click it and it turns on, and click it and it goes to a dimmer setting and turns off again. So we've got this available in amber and red, and it's a really good light just to have next to you on your bedside table. You need to get up, go to the toilet, grab it, click it, it's on. You can see what you're doing, go do your business, what you need, set it on the shelf, you're away. So that's a really handy light. Another one here, again, rechargeable as well. So you just plug it in,
Oh,
charge it up,
rechargeable.
you're good to go. And this one here, little hexagon light we've got here, again, rechargeable. And this is actually a motion light. So you can
No
set this up
way.
in your hallway or in your bathroom to actually, so you don't, when you walk in, it'll just illuminate you and it stays on for, I think, 30 seconds or something like that. So you might have to wave your hand again. But yeah, so this is quite a cool little product. And it does have just a continuous on as well. So you can just leave it, have it turned
Okay.
on to stay on. But then it also has a, a mode where once it's not going to work because of the light, but
Because that,
it has a
yeah.
it has a motion sensor mode basically, and it has to be fully dark for it to work. But yeah,
Okay. That
it's
is super.
activated
And
by
that's,
motion.
is that amber and red as well?
Yeah,
That
so
comes
we
in?
have all our lighting products are basically available in the amber and red. So yeah, those are cool two little options there that we have.
I love that
Um,
motion light. I'm just thinking about people that have guests over often, or
yeah,
even like you said yourself, to be able to walk in. What now? My place is pretty small, and I can walk anywhere with my eyes closed and know exactly where I am. But even if you are visiting somewhere, you could just
Mm,
pop that in because it's like, where am I? You wake up in the middle
yeah,
of the night, where am I? To be able to pop that on because, oh God, last week I had to check on my cat and because she was sick and I was worried
mm,
about her overnight. And I woke up, I had to see her, so I had to put on the light. And this was like 3 a.m. Now I'm wide awake.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I didn't get to sleep until 2. And then I woke up worried to go out there and it was like, now I'm awake again. And I use the little light on my Garmin
On your wall.
watch. Yeah. And
Oh,
because I
that's
can
cool.
point that down and it won't be bad. But it also has, you can adjust it to red
Oh, cool. That's cool.
at night. Yeah. So that,
That,
and
that well, that
again,
would be
and
perfect as well. That's another cool option.
yeah, but I love that little motion light. I'm totally into this motion light right now. To just to have that somewhere where you walk by at night and it is so peaceful and calming.
It
I
doesn't
turn
it
my
doesn't
red
wake you up, right? You're awake enough to do
no.
what you need to do, but you're not like, oh, now I'm wide awake, so I've got to do something now.
I know.
It's
I wish I had that little pop-up one last week that I could have brought out and popped up and I still would have been able to see perfectly fine. Your eyes, what's cool about that is if you're in the when it's dark, you have to wait for your eyes to adjust to see a
mm,
little bit. So you don't know where you are. And then when you have the bright light, it's like, whoa, now I am wide awake. Uh,
yeah.
but with the red light, when it goes on, there's no startling.
There's no
There's
shock or anything, right? It's just kind of like
no,
yeah, a
and your eyes
calming
don't have to
calming
adjust.
light. Yeah.
you can still see. You
Yeah.
can still see really pretty well. And so you don't have to wait and go, all right, before I take 2 steps and nail my toe on the bed, where am I? Or somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. Yeah.
What, do you have any other toys back there?
I don't, unfortunately. That's all I've got with me today, unfortunately. But
Um,
we do. Sorry, there was actually a lighting product I did want to talk about because it is quite a good generic one. It's called our Bio light bulb, and basically it's a light bulb that you can use because people are like, I don't want to use. What was I trying to say? Basically, this bulb, it has 3 built-in modes. So it has modes that you can use throughout the whole day, right? So it has a daytime white mode, so like our standard, what looks like a normal white LED light. It does have some blue light in it, but it's kind of like a nice balanced white light. It's not real high spikes of just blue light and white. We've actually put some thought into it, and it's a nice balanced white light. And then
okay.
from there, and once it's going into the late afternoon, you can change the mode, and it goes into a nice sort of orangey mixed kind of campfirey vibe for those like
Mm,
late afternoon sunsets, early evening. And then once it's fully in the evening, you can change it to the night mode. And the night mode is that amber light, which is the same as your book light. So it's basically 3 different colors in the one bulb. So that's quite a good option for people. Like a lot of people like using that in their living areas and things like that. Yeah.
is that just, is it a bulb or is it a
This
look
is,
or
yeah, no. So we have it as a desk lamp option, and we also have it as like a down light and a normal light bulb that you would use for like overhead lighting. Yeah.
how do you use that for overhead? If it's overhead,
So
how do you use that for the cycling
so
of it?
basically you change the modes by turning the switch off and then back on,
Wow.
and it changes the mode. Yeah, so you just have to turn it off and on like at the switch on the wall, and it changes the
Yeah.
mode for the bulb.
This
and
is this is so
that, and
cool.
that's really good because it's not because we tell people, because people are like, oh, I've got the smart bulb, I just do it through for my phone and all that, and like, that's all well and good, but that it's quite like high EMF levels and all that, but that's a different conversation. But we all know that like things, devices emit EMF and all that kind of stuff, which high levels of that you don't want too much of that. So our bulbs are really good because it's just straight from the switch, straight from the source, easily change mode, don't have to worry about your phone or apps or anything like that. So yeah, pretty straightforward to use. So that's quite a popular product as well. We have it available in like recessed lighting as well, so the down lights and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, a full
I had
range of
no idea.
lighting.
Here I just thought I went online and found this company to get some
we'll have to we'll have to talk more about the lighting, I think.
red readers. Now I'm hooked into the world of blue light blocking because again, and I tell people like when I have guests on that have some products, but I'm very particular about the guests I have on with products because I'm not here to be a product pusher. I am here to uh, put the word out about things that make a difference epigenetically. I mean,
Things that
that's what
actually
it's
work for
about.
you, right? Yeah.
And so I guinea pig everything. If I like something, I want you on here. I want to talk about it because if it can be helpful, I want my people to know about it and not be
Mm.
buying crap that's out
Yeah.
there just that they're coming across somewhere. And I want people that are like or in the industry that know what they're doing. And like you said, like the way Dan has taken it from day one of going, I need to research this and I want to partner with this optical group to do this the right way instead of
Mm.
just trying to make a quick buck on Amazon
Yeah.
for $5 and then have your stuff peel off. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell? I'm glad mine broke before anything peeled off, or I would have been like, oh, I get it. Now, if do you anything, is there anything we missed
I
before I tell
think
people how they can find you?
I think we've covered mostly everything I wanted to. Obviously, we have other little products as well, like sleep masks and things like that, which are kind of good. We do have red light therapy as well. I'm not too sure if we
That's
haven't
this
spoken
week's
on that or
podcast.
touched on that at all. That's a whole nother field and world, which I'll be more
Yeah.
than happy to talk through with you at another stage as well. We can definitely get into that.
Yeah,
Um,
actually, that's what this week's podcast that's out is red light therapy and hyperbaric oxygen with Alan
oh,
Schramm.
nice,
He's over in the
nice.
UK and he's like the guru of that stuff. So my people will, when you say red light therapy, they will know exactly what you're talking about because they will have listened.
Oh,
So,
perfect, awesome.
so you
So,
offer that too,
um,
so they know the
but yeah,
benefits.
I think no, yeah, I think we covered everything that we wanted to.
Yeah, because that's what we talked about was to get the word out about what is red blue light, why is it harmful, the differences in the colors of the lenses, and now bulbs and everything else. This was just a fantastic conversation, and I think my audience will be much more enlightened and see the importance of this in achieving good sleep. Because if you're not sleeping well, you're not recovering. And if you are doing all the things, or if you're working with me and you're doing all the things and your sleep is crap, this is where I get after all my peeps. And I love to catch them posting on Facebook at 11 o'clock when I'm going to turn my phone off, and all of a sudden, because I'm crawling into bed, or 10 o'clock, and all of a sudden I see them posting a message. Sometimes I'll send a little, aren't you supposed to be in bed? And they're like, oops. So I go, big sister's watching, mama's watching here. All of these things play a part. So if you can't break that habit, you're not ready to break that habit yet, you certainly can mitigate the
100%.
Damage that you're doing, right?
100%.
From this
If you are a doom
stimulation.
scroller, we have options for you.
Doom scrollers, we're talking to you. And one of my friends was telling me yesterday, she said that damn Instagram, right at night when I know that I need to stop scrolling, it starts sending me all the funny videos. And then I can't stop watching. It's addicting because you're like, okay, if that one's making me laugh and you're crying because you're laughing so hard at some of this, and then you're sending it to your friends and you can't stop. And they know it. Yeah. They know it, right? It's just another addictive thing. And if you're someone that's dopamine issues, it is your crack.
Literally.
Literally crack for you. So if someone wants to reach out to you with questions, can they reach out to you?
Absolutely, yeah. Because like we said, we talked earlier, like I'm actually part of the customer service team. I'm a senior member in that team. So obviously, if you head to our website, we do have WhatsApp and email. And all you need to do if you wanted to reach out to me specifically is address it to Sam. I'll say, hey, I saw Sam on the podcast or anything like that. And that will get filtered to me. Or they could email me direct. It's probably better that they do it through, because that's where I've spent a lot of my time, is like in the customer side of it. I don't really check my work personal stuff as much, but I do have a work email address, and that's just sam@blockbluelight.com. So that's a real easy one. But yeah, best way would probably be to get on the WhatsApp or email, or even if they've got Instagram, send us an Instagram DM, because I'm checking those quite a lot as well. So yeah.
What's your Instagram?
The Instagram is, I think it's Block Blue Light Official, I believe, Block Blue Light _official. If they just search Block Blue Light, it should come up, but I believe it's, Block Blue Light _official. So if they just want to flick us a quick DM, be more than happy to help.
Fantastic. And I will have everything in the show notes as well with your information on the website. And what's the website?
The website's just, www.blockbluelight.com. Nice and easy.
People. What a fun this was the most fun I would have talking about a subject like blue light, which you would think would bore the hell out of you. So you brought a fun light to it, a great energy to it, and some great information. And I'm so grateful for your valuable time and spending it with us today.
Honestly, Susan, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you for having me on. It's been great chat. Love your energy, and been awesome.
Absolutely. And I think you told me that there was like a first time discount?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we do have a first time welcome discount, which you can, I think it actually, a little pop-up will come up when you go to the website. Say, hey, do you want to unlock it? Blah, blah, blah. If you don't like that kind of stuff, if you just want to browse, you can just close that and you can just carry on browsing. So yeah, there is that. I will give you a cheeky little heads up as well, if people are actually interested, to keep an eye out around the mid-June time. It would be a good time to keep an eye out. There could be something coming up there special wise. So yeah.
Uh-huh. And that's about the time this will drop. So it should be pretty close. Yeah, awesome. Good to know. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sam Nahna. I just love that. I go, Nahna. Easy name to remember. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Share this podcast. Let's help people get some better sleep out there. Listeners, let's share this, subscribe. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Sam, for joining us today. Get out there, make it a great day, and be your most authentic self. Thank you for tuning into my podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, I'd love for you to share it with someone who'd find the information useful. Please leave a review anywhere you listen to podcasts, and it'll help the information get out to others.
If you're interested in seeing if we're a great fit to work together, the link is in the show notes below where you can sign up for a free consultation with me. So go make it a great day and let your authentic self shine.